Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers. Today we've arrived at Fairfield State Park and want to talk to you about setting up camp and connecting to services at a state park or somewhere where you have options to connect to services. What's going to show you, first thing you're going to want to do before you unhook your vehicle is you need to make sure that you are level left to right. So I always bring wood, and I have a 1x6 and a 2x6, which if I combine them would give me a total of 3 inches, which is actually quite a bit. So I have a level, if you'll look this way, mounted right here, and it is so that I can actually see it whenever I am pulling into the site. And as you can see, this site is level, so we're not going to have to level left to right. But you want to level left to right before you unhook. Now, a hint here. Let me show you. We can back up a second. Let's pretend that I needed to raise, if the bubble is higher on this side, that means I need to raise the other side. But if the bubble were higher on the other side, I need to raise this side. So my suggestion is this. If it's barely off, I use the 1 inch, but I'll just for demonstration's sake show you. Once I get situated in the site where I want to be, I then will place my board at the tires, like this. I would then back the RV beyond it and slide the board over and pull onto it. It's easier to pull straight going forward for some of us than backing up. And that way I'm situated in the site where I was before. So if there's clearance behind, that's a good way to be sure that you can get level front to left to right. The front and back you take care of after you unhitch. So at this point we are now level left to right. The other thing you want to check out, and let's go back through here. With our hitch, for those of you who are getting the Super Glide hitch, I love it, but you really need for your tow vehicle and your RV to be straight. And so that's one of the reasons why we're not centered in this site. I wanted to back up enough so that I was sure I'd have clearance whenever we get ready to hitch, that I would be able to hitch up. Now, when you're getting ready to connect to your site, you'll notice that, actually another reason I backed up further was so that my slide will come out here and I have room. I'm not going to bump into these. Often, most of the time, you're going to see these. This is where our services are. So we're getting ready to connect to our water and electric. And if you have sewer hookups, which we don't have sewer hookups here, then you also want to make sure you have plenty of water hose that you can connect to the water hose. Well, our fresh water connection is, city water connection is here, so we got that cleared. Our electric connection is actually back at the very back, but we have our 25-foot cable will be enough. But when we first started RVing, we knew, okay, there are going to be some sites where, actually, they're one of our favorite sites, our very favorite site at Mission Tejas is on the opposite side, and at the front, we bought an extra cable so we could stay in that site. But usually the sites are going to be, the connections are going to be on the driver's side because that's where these connections are on your RV. So I'm going to go on and do this, and then also you'll get something from the ranger station to put out claiming your site. They were at lunch, so they told us just to come and shop around, and we found this awesome site right on the lake. And so I'm going to go on and show you. We got these really cool containers where I can label that this one's electric, this one's water, this one's sewer, and I have a water too, so if we need extra water hose, these are city water hoses and you don't want to connect them to anything else. But with the city water connection, you will need a regulator because the amount of pressure that comes out of the faucet is greater than what your RV will take. And I don't know if you can see it or not, but this shows you this goes towards your RV and this is the city water. So this automatically will narrow that and constrict it so that whenever I connect, it will reduce that flow. So with the electric, ours does not permanently stay. A lot of people have them that just unwind. You'll notice we have an extension cord in here, because if you'll look at the electric plug here, we have 30 amp. A lot of sites are going to have 30 or 50. This one just has 30. If it's not, I go on and push these down so that if there's a surge or something, I don't. Now, you can buy a separate surge protector. A lot of people feel those are very important. It's a good idea. We don't have one. Haven't needed it, but I have a friend that has a refrigerator problem they think was from a surge protector. So that is a good idea. You simply push that in all the way. You'll notice the 110 outlets here. This has a 20 amp as well, but that is like for our space heater in the winter. We connect directly into that, run the cord through the basement, and then we don't have to worry about it flipping breakers inside. Okay, so now I'm going to go back here, connect this, and I might as well run it on the inside here, just in case we need to do anything there. And before we leave, we're going to put some water in our fresh water. Now this has a locking mechanism. I simply turn that, twist it, make sure it's tight, screw this down a few times, and we're ready to flip the power on. When we know for sure we've done it right is we hear the microwave beep. So now I flip the breaker, and I think I heard it. Before you unhitch, be sure you put your chocks down to hold the wheels. I usually put one going front, one going back, so that whenever I connect, I'm stabilized this way. If the trailer happens to be going forward, it's stabilized the other direction. Okay, you're going to want to extend just a little bit past, and you're going to feel this because you're on the tailgate. I extend, and you feel it lift just a hair. That takes some of the weight off of the trailer. The last thing I did was to back, so this should unhitch easily. I'm now going to unplug my electric and unplug my safety chain. So let's see if you can see that. I can't see what you see. Unplug the electric, let it dangle back behind the truck. I'm going to unplug the automatic brake, and that's sometimes a challenge to reach, but I think I got it pretty well here. And simply undo that and make sure it falls out behind here. And I now am ready to pull the handle. Undoes easily. If it doesn't, then I simply will back up just a little bit and take the pressure off, but we'll see. Piece of cake. I am now unhitched. Once again, raise the trailer just a hair so that pressure is now going to, this is going to slide out easily. And I tell you what, I'm going to let you go along for the ride. How's that? Hopefully you don't fall off in the process. Was that fun? Okay, now we are ready to level front to back. Go for it.
With our levels, we use these inexpensive levels. They have a bubble, you can see where you are with it. You can buy much more expensive electronic levels. We don't feel that's necessary.
Okay, so this site is paved and actually very, very, very level. Let me show you. Here on the side, you can see, we can see how to level it front to back. So with an electric, and you can have this on a tongue jack on a trailer, on a bumper pull as well, I simply need to retract the front end a little bit, and that's going to push that further up and back. If I extend it, oops, I retracted. If I extend it, give it a chance to settle, we now are settled perfectly level in this sight. So the weight of the trailer is on the jacks in front and on the wheels. And back we have stabilizing, and what that does is when you're walking around, it keeps you from feeling that movement. It's not really taking the weight of the trailer. Now, something that I have, and you'll see here, is I carry this box of wood. Well, the reason for that is because I'll put one of these down, and then I can, a beauty of still teaching is I have students who are in drama, and when they build sets, they have scrap wood and big saws, so I just tell them what I need and they'll chop it up for me. But anyway, I can sandwich these in like this, so now I've saved myself. I don't have a cordless drill. A lot of people, if you do, then great. That'll just zip that up and down. But the other thing about those scissor jacks is, if they actually have a scissor, you get more stabilization. If it's just straight up and down, it's not going to stabilize as well. So this can help. You can, matter of fact, we've had some sites where the back end was a lot higher, and I would stack several of these and make it so I wasn't having to jack down very far. But anyway, we'll show you how I get this stabilized in just a second. By the way, no, we're not huge fans of bungee cord, but the piece from our slide we've had replaced, and it just breaks when we put the slide out, so rather than paying to have that replaced again, we just bungee cord it. But anyway, so I've now placed that underneath there, and this is usually something I do before I connect to electric so this cord's not in the way. But this is a 3/4 inch let me unhook that bungee cord that I just talked about. There we go. Now, here we go. This is a 3/4 inch and you simply undo it until it starts to rest firmly. And if I need to move that just a hair, I will. Center it. There we go. And once it's snug, and it's, there we go, that's good. It's not going to take any of the weight of the trailer. We're going to snug down the other side. We're ready to put our slide out, and happy camping. Thanks for watching Two Tired Teachers.